that wishes to check into the net, please come now. This is Bill, K6KRQ. Can I get a signal check? Okay, by default, you are a first check-in. Are there any other people that would like to check in?
Good evening, everyone. Alpha India 6, Delta Golf.
All right, I got Joel, AI6DG. Welcome, Joel. Anybody else? All right, well, 3 to begin with. We'll see if we pick anybody else up as they go along. Carol, would you like to go first? Are you ready?
Yeah, sure, I'm ready to go, and I will go ahead and send PD 120.
All right, the pixel pops notwithstanding, and then that QRN in the middle there, that's a very clear picture, but it is also very curious. I'm giving Joel like first stab at this one. Joel, see if you can tell us what it is.
Frantically trying to find a picture to send next and don't have one yet, so I was a little distracted. So, she did a Facebook post on this. It's I think it's a microphone something or another, so that's a mic element on the left, and That looks like a push button of some kind. Maybe that's the BTT. And then the jack to cable it to a radio maybe. I didn't read the post. I just saw the picture. So I don't know what the insert on the lower left is. So what's the backing? Is it a piece of plastic or something 3D printed maybe? So looking at the soldering and trying to look at how it's wired. Yeah, it looks small. And did you do that with your eyeball, or did you pull out one of those magnifiers with the ring of light around it? I have a couple of those. I use them all the time for lots of things because my eyes are not as good as they used to be. Back to net, AI6DG.
Thanks, Joel. That's enlightened me a little, but I'm still puzzled. This is a true eyeball bender. Boy, I wish there was more on station with us for this one to see what other kind of guesses we got. But we're going to have to go to Carol to see what it is. It is very curious. So why don't you tell us about it, Carol?
Okay, yeah, very good. Yeah, Joel guessed it. It's the Kilo 6 Alpha Romeo Kilo mini microphone, K6ARK mini microphone, and it's very popular. It's made on it's put into a 3D printed enclosure that you see half of the enclosure there. I have the other half removed, so you can see what's inside there, and that is an Electret microphone element on the left. There's a push to talk button, which is it's a PC type, that through the hole, but we're using it there. It fits in a little recess in the side of that enclosure. It's holding there nice and snug. It works very well as a push to talk. And then the TRS jack, 3.5 millimeter, which takes a little, a stereo jumper cable, TRS type. One end plugs into this microphone, and the other one plugs into your KX3 or KX2, or it also works on the QMX from QRP Labs. So this works pretty nifty. I put this together. Actually, my friend Hank, K6HUH, printed this. He's got quite a laboratory of 3D printing printers there. So he printed this for me, the enclosure, and he and I both ordered the components because you have to order the microphone element from DigiKey to get a good sensitive microphone element. So we kind of like to make a little bulk order. So we had a few extra parts there. That way the shipping is divided amongst us. It works out better. And I soldered it by eye. It wasn't that hard. And it works like a charm. I'm absolutely thrilled with it. So you can see how tiny the thing is. And it works very well. I made a contact on just a few days ago. I was on 60 meters on the new 60 meter band segment, and talked with a couple of people in the Bay Area. And one of the others was using also a QMX, just running 5 watts, and we had a really good solid copy 3 ways. So that's my story. Back over to you there, Bill. K6KRQ, KP for MD, over.
That is pretty cool. So I guess I would imagine its small size lends itself to using with one of those Elecraft radios for out in the field, correct?
Yeah, that's the intention. It's really small, so you can carry around POTA, or doesn't hardly take any space at all. The thing is only about 1.5 inches long from left to right. Over.
All right, very good. That's interesting. I kind of like these little builds that you do. They're interesting. So anyway. anyway, thanks for that, Carol. This is Bill K6KRQ. Before I go on, I'm going to do a check, because we're light so far, to see if anybody's come along and would like to check in. If so, come now.
Question for Carol?
Yeah, go ahead, Joel.
So, I think on 60 meters, it's always been a kind of a mystery band to me because the rules are kind of strange on it. And I concluded that basically FT8 was an coacher on it before. With the new rule changes, has that changed?
Yeah, we have since February 13th, Channel 3 has been replaced with a 15 kilohertz wide segment. We have an entire 15 kilohertz wide segment that we could move around anywhere within that 15 kilohertz. And we can use any mode, CW, phone, or digital, as long as the signal is no more than 2.8 kilohertz wide. So, yep, the FT8 is still there. It's kind of like centered on that the original Channel 3 frequency, which is 5357. But we are now allowed to use from 53, gee whiz, 53, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's a 15 kilohertz segment, and it's centered right on the old Channel 3. Now the new, we still have Channel 1, 2, 4, and 5. They have not changed. They're on the same frequencies, and they're still allowed with 100 watts ERP. The change now with that middle channel, that 15 kilohertz, that entire segment, we are now restricted to 9.15 watts ERP, which is the ITU international allocation, and that's the reason why they dropped this down to that power there. But on all the other channels, we can still use 100 watts. Over.
Isn't there something though about it not being shared and only being able to have one person transmitting on a frequency at a time? Wasn't that the killer for using FT8?
Yeah, that was true, and that's still the case on channels 1, 2, 4, and 5. Those, you have to have only one station at a time, and it's got to be centered right on the center of the channel. We don't have that restriction anymore in the 15 kilohertz range. Now we could be anywhere within that range, and that is really a boon for FT8, because everybody can, fill up the entire FT8 segment, the 3 kilohertz now legally. Well, they were doing it that way anyway before. There were a lot of people that just ignored the rules. Over.
So we just can't do more than 9 point whatever watts that you were talking about. Now, is that ERP or how's that measured?
Yeah, that's ERP. The ITU international agreement actually states it's 15 watts EIRP, but the FCC has converted that to ERP, which is what we normally use here in the U.S., which is 9.15 watts ERP. Over.
So in this case, we've gained the legality to use it, but only at fairly low power.
Yeah, that's the compromise, and that was a compromise between the FCC and the NTIA, which of course is the people that pretty much are the coordinators for the federal and the government users of those frequencies, because they're the primary users. They said, okay, you can go ahead and use the whole 15 kilohertz as long as you use a maximum of 9.15 watts ERP. And they say the reason for that, there's a whole, it's all explained in the FCC rulemaking. The NTIA is just more concerned that, if everybody was using 100 watts still throughout that entire 15 kilohertz segment, that it would be a higher risk of causing interference to federal users. Over.
that gives me 2 bands now I can go look at. I got to figure out a 160 meter antenna, and then I guess I can. I'm not even sure my current antenna is supposed to run on 60, so that's a good question by itself. Anyway, thanks for the additional info, the fill-in. I'm sorry for the sidebar and dragging the net to a off track. Back to net, AS6TG.
Hey, this is K6KRQ. No worries there, Joel or Carol, especially when it's light. That's a good example of some of the conversation starters we can get with this. And when we are light, it does help to take up some of the time. So you're doing me a big favor. So I appreciate that. Thanks for the insight, Carol, and thanks for bringing it to light, Joel. So that said, we got to check in. Okay, yeah. I was going to welcome K6ARK, and I thought his name was Mick, so I said, hi, Mick, but apparently it's Adam, because I just looked him up on QRZ. Nevertheless, welcome, and he now it comes together. He knew it was a mic, so very good. All right, this is Bill, K6KRQ. Joel, if you want a few more minutes, I can go ahead and send now. What say you?
Nope, I got something lined up. Let me do tone, and then I'll send it. And it'll be PD 120.
Good on the tone. Go ahead. Got it. Good picture. I actually know where it's at and what it is. And apparently Walter, K6HTD, does too. He's on YouTube. I'm not fooled by Water Faucet 24. I know that's Walter. So, but I'm going to, before I say anything else, I'm giving Carol first shot at it. Go ahead, Carol.
Yeah, this is KP4MD. I think this is the crookedest street in the world. I've seen pictures of this in San Francisco. I think I've actually driven not on it, but by it. And it's exactly what it looks like. It's a one-direction street, only going downhill. Very steep Of course, it's curvy, and you have stairs there on the sidewalk. So I'm thinking that's Lombard Street in San Francisco. As far as the reception here, you could see on YouTube, getting a lot of pixel pops, and I tend to get those a lot too when it's rainy out there. So probably about 2 or 3 dozen pixel pops, but the colors are pretty good. Back over to you. This is KP for MD.
All right, very good, Carol. Thank you. Yep, unless it's like an exact duplicate, it is Lombard Street, the world's crookedest street. You know, the first time I ever went to San Francisco was about not too long ago, about 20-something years ago, and I already knew about Lombard Street, so I had to take the family down it. So I have driven it. So, Joel, why don't you tell us about your picture, like you know, when you took it, what you were doing, and all that. So go ahead.
I have a conference I go to every year down in San Francisco, and I drive down to Concord and take BART, and the hotel's like half a block away. I think it's the Powell Station, and then from that hotel, it's another half block to the venue where the convention is. And I usually, well, didn't think I did this originally, but for a number of years now, I've scheduled an extra day beforehand and played tourist. In this particular trip, I actually started at the hotel, walked over to Coit Tower, and then just walked all the way down Lombard Street to, I don't know, Van Ness or whatever it is. I walked down it and ended up at the far end of Ghirardelli Square. And it's just fascinating just walking through the city. I mean, the views, the people, the tourist spots, the architecture, the views. And this is just absolute madhouse tourist spot. Tourists all over the place, standing around, taking pictures, walking around. This has got to be a terrible place to have a house. I mean, that's got to be quite a catch-22 of pluses and minuses of what a cachet spot, amazing views. On the other hand, what the real estate values and putting up with all the tourists and the cars driving by, they just line up to go down this. I think I've driven down it also at some point in the past, and it's just, I've done it once. I can say I've done it. I don't think I'll ever do it again. But there's at least 3 cars in this shot, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was another 1 or 2 around the corner up above. I stood at this spot quite a while taking pictures and videos, and I think this is actually a video frame capture. Great trip. Very glad when I got back to the end of the walk to Ghirardelli Square and could take the cable car back to Market Street, hanging out the side with the video running on my camera, or by on my cell phone. Back to net, AI6DG.
Thank you, Joel. This is K6KRQ. Yeah, I too have heard that it's now like a mobbed tourist place. That would definitely be a negative to having to live there. Can't imagine what that would be like, and any other troubles they might bring. But it is an interesting place still. So, all right then. Thank you again, Joel. Again, this is Bill, K6KRQ, Wednesday Slow Scan TV Net. I'm going to check one more time to see if anybody else has come along and would like to check in. If so, please come now. All right, nothing heard. Okay, so I got one queued up. So, you know, I meant to say, Carol, thanks for your gracious recognition on the 10-meter net as far as my travels. I don't have a travel picture tonight. I got one that I took off the computer. Kind of shows where my mind's going now with only having college basketball. So here comes my offering for tonight. that was kind of a pixel pop tester there. It doesn't look too bad on YouTube, but we'll find out how you got it. Let's go to Carol first and see if, I don't know, maybe you've seen this before or know who it is. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Kilo Papa for Mike Delta. Wow, this is really curious. It looks like somebody jumping in the air. I wonder if this has something to do with the Winter Olympics. Anyway, it kind of looks like a man, but he's got a really cute hairdo, and it looks like it's got two little, I don't know, pigtails sticking up top. So I don't know. It's kind of like a strange-looking woman, or it could be a guy. I can't really say. And like just floating in the air. That is so, so weird. Is that from the Olympics? I have no idea what this is. And you're probably laughing at me. I have no idea. K6KRQ is KP4MD.
Thanks, Carol. I'm laughing because you're probably not going to, you're probably going to want to walk back the cute comment when you find out who it is. Nothing real nasty or bad or anything, but we'll see. Let's go to Joel, see if he knows what or who it is.
I'd say it's pretty definitely baseball and someone jumping for a base. Which base, I don't know, because I can't really see where he's flying to, literally flying. He's got some pretty good air there. And I'm thinking Pete Rose, but I can't be sure. I mean, the resolution's just not there. And yeah, he's got funny looking hair. Back to net, AI6TG.
Yep, you got that one right, Joel. It is Pete Rose, and Walter got it too. The reason I'm starting to think about baseball season, and there's a few pictures of this like this of him, and I just like it because it shows like this guy always played with great determination. You know, it's a shame that he's been barred from the Hall of Fame, but we'll see what the future brings. He passed away not too long ago, but the determination in it is just always what I admire. This is when he was playing with the Phillies. I had another one I was going to send very similar when he was with Cincinnati, but this one looked more like flying in the air like Superman. So anyway, that's my reasoning behind that picture.
Yeah, KP Fremdy.
Go ahead, Carol.
Okay, yeah, I know I was completely off base, but it looks like he's got a couple of barrettes in his hair, holding his hair up like that, or little scrunchies holding him up into little peaks there. Is that for real or what? Over.
It's just because I guess he's between haircuts here. There's a lot of pictures of him that looks like he's got like almost like a Mo Howard, Three Stooges bowl haircut, for want of a better description. So he's definitely not. It wasn't one that had styled hair or anything. But that's just because he's flying in the air. I don't know what base he's on either on this one. The other one I seen looks like he was trying to get back to first. So that was the Cincinnati one. But I think he's between haircuts.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, there certainly doesn't have a very cute expression on his face. I was just saying that hair looks absolutely wild. Okay, and he's just flying in the air. Interesting. Okay, thank you very much for that. Very interesting, KP Fremdy.
Yeah, he turned out well when they would have him on as a commentator or something. He was somewhat curmudgeonly in his older years, but he had a lot of good things to say, but he was somewhat curmudgeonly. Maybe he was bitter, I don't know. But anyway, he was a great player. So, that being said, let's try one more time and see if anybody might have come along that wants to check in. One more time. Slow Scan TV Net, any check-ins late? right, I guess not. You know, I don't have anything else to send. If Carol or Joel, you got anything else to send? That's just fine. If not, maybe I'll just cut it off early. What do you say?
Yeah, I have another one, and just want to say hi to Ricky. Ricky N420 said hello on live chat.
All right, very good. I think we had Ricky last week. I know we've had him before. All right, in that case, good. Carol, go ahead and send when you're ready. All right, nice picture. I'm going to comment first on this one. It's kind of rough going after Joel. He always beats me to the punch on a lot of these things. You know, I'm just going to sound mushy. This just makes me think of warmer weather to come. I love daffodils, and but I have not planted any, and I have a perfect planter underneath the window in the front of the house, so I have to think about doing that. So I'm just going to say, the only other thing I'm going to say is I hope you might have these out around your residence, Carol, but we'll see. Let's go to Joel and see. And by the way, I had, you know, it's a pixel pop night, it looks like, but the picture is quite clear. Let's go to Joel for comment. Go ahead, Joel.
It's not quite that season yet, but yeah, pretty. Hang on, let me. Why didn't I? Hang on a moment. Let me open that up again, full screen. There we go. Yep, lots of pixel pops. What were these? Daffodils? Geez, I'm not a flower person. Bulbs. Okay, aren't those bulbs? I don't know when they come up. Geez, I just don't know anything about gardening and plants, but very pretty, very yellow. And it looks like there's some buds, so there's more coming. Back to net, AS6TG.
All right, very good. I don't know when the time is to plant them either, but maybe Carol can enlighten us. Like I say, I love daffodils. They're neat looking. So, Carol, go ahead and tell us about your daffodils.
Yeah, this is KP4MG. These are my daffodils. They've actually been bloomed here for about two weeks, and yeah, they were mostly just buds. Now all of those ones that you see, including the buds, are now fully bloomed. And I took this picture about a week ago. These come up every year. I mean, they've been there for I don't know how long, but they're a perennial plant. I mean, they bloom, and they right now they're all kind of wet and kind of saggy, um, and especially the wind kind of blows a few of them like over. But I think they kind of come up again later, when they dry out a little bit. But yeah, they've been there for quite a few years that I can remember. I think they've been there for at least, gee whiz, maybe 10 or 12 years. So they're in front of my house, and the first things that come out every spring. So yeah, Ricky says, okay, if you subscribe, you're certainly welcome to subscribe to our channel. And um, this is a fun thing to do with your amateur radio license. This is a lot of fun, and it's not so hard. So we're using a free software hooked up with a regular FM radio, FM transceiver. So back over to net control. This is Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta. Back over to you. Over.
Thank you, Carol. To piggyback on a comment you made about this being fun, and speaking to Ricky, who was telling us about setting up his station, I got a lot of help on this net, like setting mine up. Like Carol said, the software doesn't cost anything. Just got to be able to hook it up to your radio, and it works quite well. So there's that. And again, thanks for that. This picture. It kind of reminds me of my mother, because like they're plants from bulbs. My mother liked to garden, and she liked the bulb plants, like daffodils and hyacinths and stuff like that. So she used to do them all the time, and she was pretty good with them. So great picture, great color too. You're kind of fortunate to just have them there. I got to go get me some bulbs and plant them. It's not that big of a deal. So anyway, thanks for that, Carol. Joe, might you have another picture that you'd like to send?
Queued up. Give me a moment, and then I'll just randomly pick something that I've sent in the past.
Oh, perfect. When you're ready, go for it. SK6KRQ. Oh, that was sent Martin 1. That's a change. And boy, that's got a distinctive sound from PD120. You know what, Joel? If you've sent this before, I don't remember it. But it definitely looks like one of our conversation starters. I'm giving Carol first crack at this because I do not know what it is. Maybe Carol does. Go ahead and take a shot, Carol.
Okay, yeah, I think this is a, yeah, I remember seeing this picture before. It was explained to be an old mechanical calculator kind of adding or multiplying machine. And it's very interesting. I don't remember exactly how it works, but I think it has to do with different cams and stuff that you set it up and then you crank it and it comes out with the answer on that on those little rotating numbers there, those dials. Back over to Nets, KP Fram. By the way, it's only about, I don't know, it's a pretty good picture, the good colors, maybe about a little over a dozen pixel pops I could see. Back to Net, KP Fram D.
Thanks, Carol. Yeah, you know what? This might be the best transmitter of the night. You're right. You know, I maybe vaguely remember it. I sure would like to see a picture of that encompasses more of the mechanism. But that said, let's go to Joel and have him explain about it again to me. Anyway, go ahead, Joel.
This is, I think it's looking at it upside down. Wait a minute. Actually, let me enlarge this to see whether it's upside down or upright. And the numbers, yeah, I can't. Yeah, the numbers are upright. Okay, so this is at the top, looking down at the gearing mechanism for the RF deck for an R390, not 90A. So I've got all the parts for one of these. I don't know if I'll ever get it working because a lot of the parts are broken now, and I'm not sure I could ever figure out how to get it put back together anyway. But I took it all apart and cleaned them, and this is... So an R390 is like a rack-sized, probably almost 12 inches tall, weighs, I don't know, 75 pounds, designed back in the late 40s, early 50s. Collins and other manufacturers built them from late 50s, early 60s, rock-solid, EMP-proof, incredibly stable, incredible piece of engineering and of RF technology, absolute state-of-the-art at the time. And probably, well, even today, they're excellent receivers, but there's newer stuff that's definitely taken over their position. You don't need to have 75 pounds worth of metal nowadays, what with SDRs and everything. But nevertheless, when you've got, and some of them are worth a lot of money. They're ones in good condition that have been refurbished. Actually, there are people that'll pay good money for them, and I mean good money, into 4 figures. Back to Net AI6DG.
That's intriguing. So it's a receiver with all that mechanical stuff in it?
Right, this is just the gearing, but all those bars at the extreme upright, there's cams that are going up and down that are pushing toroid slugs in and out of coils, and the cams are optimized for the frequencies as you're turning the dial. So the two shafts coming out the bottom, the one on the left is for megahertz, and the one on the right is for the kilohertz within that 1 megahertz range. And each of those two knobs move those gears and cams, and the slugs are going up and down. It's all optimized so that everything's matching. I don't know how to describe it, and I'm not sure I completely understand it, but they're probably one of the best receivers ever designed, and I think they were originally designed by Collins.
going to say it again. That is intriguing, man. If you could ever get that to work back together, boy, I sure would like to hear about it. Man, you know what? That alone would probably make for a meeting presentation. That's extremely interesting. I've never seen that. Where did you get it?
Oh, there are tons of these surplus. I mean, so many so that a lot of them got destroyed either purposely or by them just being stacked on pallets and left outdoors to the weather. That's actually the main reason this one's in such poor condition, because it was sitting outside for so long that parts of the power supply, the transformers rusted all the way through, and the oil leaked out, which probably had PCBs in it. And the slugs got cemented into the coils or transformers that they were inside, so that when you crank the gears, it actually ripped the slugs, broke the slugs apart. So, Selectronics, I think I picked this up at Selectronics, which hasn't existed for probably 30 years, but it was a surplus junk shop over on Del Paso Boulevard by Del Paso and, was that El Camino, I think? Anyways, Carol might know where I'm talking about, AS6TG.
Yeah, if that's where it was, that's not too far from me. It sounds kind of like a tragedy, like for this piece here. I have to ask Carol. Carol, in your tenure, is this something you've seen or even seen working?
Yes, this is KP4MD. I have to admit that I actually had one of those receivers, and I never opened it up to see the gears like this, but I had one of those receivers on loan to me from the Air Force when I was in the Mars program back in the early 70s, and I recognize the digital readout. You know, I recognize it now, but when you see it in the front of the radio, just poking through a little window, you don't get to see all of those gears there. And it is, I remember that radio was quite a mechanical marvel. The way they had that thing calibrated to the kilohertz. It was, it was, I guess, a permeability tuned oscillator. So they had it worked out so it was very linear, not like most of the other radios where you have all of the high frequency end of the dial, all the stations are bunched together, and they're more spread out at the lower end when you're using a variable capacitor. This was very, very precise on the frequency readout. And what I had I did on the YouTube channel, I posted a link there because I had confused. For some reason, this thing made me think of a design. It was actually a calculator designed in the 1600s by this fellow named Leibniz, Gottfried Leibniz. It was called a stepped reckoner, and it's probably just as complicated to some extent with all the gears and little numbered dials and stuff that you would. It was a machine that you would set. You would set some dials with numbers to put in, and you would crank it, and it would come out with the answer in addition, subtraction, multiplication, or even division. It was something tremendously ahead of its time, and you could see a picture of it if you click on that little link there on the YouTube. Back over to you, KP4MD.
Hey, thanks, Carol. I was gonna say, I saw your comment on YouTube, and it looked like you caught yourself while or jogged your memory when Joe was explaining this. So I gotta put a question out there to Walter in YouTube land if he might have ever seen anything like this. And since I'm speaking to Walter, you're welcome to join us on this net anytime there, Walt. But very good, very interesting picture. Once again, here's another thing I'll say another time. there's never a shortage of conversation subjects on this net. Pretty good net for just like the three of us. I am grateful for that. So this is Bill, K6KRQ. I'm gonna, before I close the net, I'm gonna ask to see if there's any other comments or questions or anything else you want to get off your chest. All right, then, I want to thank both of you for participating and our YouTube crew. We got quite a bit of chat traffic going on there with Ricky, Walter, and Carol did most of the responding from our end. Again, thanks again for participating in tonight's Slow Scan TV Net. We hope to see you next Wednesday at 9 p.m. And again, if you got the wherewithal to actually get on the air with us, we would really love that. There's always plenty of help here for getting started. So I'm going to close the net officially at 9:55 p.m. local time. Thanks again. This is Bill wishing all of you a good evening. 73.
Hey, let me send one more picture of what the front of an R390 looks like. What's nice about this one is it's actually got both of the meters. Most of the meters got removed because they were radioactive. They had radioactive paint on the dial. Here's another picture.
Oh, excellent. Perfect.
A lot of pictures of naval ships, the radio room in naval ships, or the communications room with radio teletypes, either on land or on naval ships. You'll see racks full of these, literally racks of these.
Excellent. You know what? I guess I'm going to call this like the AfterNet show because Carol's got another picture too. Hey, you know what? This picture brings it helps me a lot with the perspective. You know, because I was thinking when I saw this, I was thinking what you see in battleships or whatever, or military applications. Now I'm wondering if that's like the red, white, and blue decal on the right is like a Mars decal. But again, this brings it into more perspective for me. I thought they were all just like tubes and wires behind them. I didn't know they had all the sprockets and cogs and all that.
It really depends on the gear. This one, though, happened to be heavily mechanical. That's also why it weighed as much as it did.
Carol, if you're still with us, you got a comment on this? I'll bet you this is what you were alluding to on your last comment.
Yes, that's the exact receiver that I had, and that thing weighed a ton. It was, I don't know, like about 50 or 60 pounds, and it was loaded with vacuum tubes. Over.
So does it have a, Joel or Carol, does it have a counterpart transmitter? That might be a silly question.
Yes, I understand that they did have a companion transmitter. I never saw one of those.
All right, very good. Thanks for that little adjunct there, Joel. Like I said, it brings it into more perspective. Now I know what I was looking at, kind of, sorta, from on the original picture. So, Carol, if you got another picture, I'm ready for it.
Okay, this is a final picture. It's PD-120.
Boy, you all are like outdoing the conversation pieces. This one, man, this is really interesting. Boy, I had a lot of waves of interference going across my little waterfall. This looks like some artistic piece of steampunk electronics. But I'm giving Joel first go at this one. I don't have any clue. Go ahead, Joel. See, give it your best shot. Well, that's a shame. Joel must have hung up. Are you not with us anymore, Joel? Anyway, I see, this is K6KRQ. I see two axes on it. with the cranks on the left and one on the front of it, and I guess it has to do the way they line up with the cylinders on the back. They're shaped like batteries, but Carol, you're going to have to tell me what this is. I have no clue. Man, it might even be some musical thing. I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is KP for MD. Yeah, this is what I was talking about that I confused that other mechanism with. This is called a stepped reckoner. It is exactly what you say. It's a steampunk calculator. It can add, subtract, multiply, or divide numbers up to 16 digits each. And this was designed by a mathematical genius back in the 1600s, and it still works. How do you like that? You just set the dials up. There are settings that you set the dials to the numbers that you want to calculate against each other, and you turn the crank, and then it displays the answer on several different dials there. It's amazing how they could work something like this out, and it's actually very accurate over.
So I'm guessing that was what came to mind, that it was made by Charles Babbage. That would have been my Jeopardy answer.
No, this particular one was made by Gottfried Leibniz, and he presented a wooden model of this to the Royal Society of London in 1694. So I think this was probably, I don't know if it was before Babbage's machine. Over.
I recognized like the Leibniz name too. I maybe could have got that as an answer to a multiple choice, but I wouldn't be able to tell you if you just mentioned his name. Where'd you see this at?
Whoops. Yeah, I actually I was doing my I was doing some web surfing, and this picture popped up, and I looked at it, and I read all about it. I know it was a few months ago, and this was the first thing that popped in my head when Joel showed that other picture of the radio gears and stuff. But I know this is not anything really like it, but it's just the complexity of it just gave me that inspiration over.
Well, I can definitely see like why Joel's picture would take you there. It's the same idea, I'll say, very mechanical. Yeah, these are very interesting. That's another very interesting picture. All right then, thanks a lot for that. So so this is the Wednesday Slow Scan TV after show. I guess I'm going to end it right now, and I want to thank all of you again. So we'll see you next week. Have a pleasant evening. 73.